Live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Break. And I'm here with the lovely Heather. Hiya, Heather.
Hello.
How are you? You good?
All good. Yes, I've got the cat with me, so he's sitting on my paperwork, which is the best place for it, really.
I don't know about you, but we actually had some sunshine this morning, so I got some photographs done.
It was gorgeous here too. It's clouded now, but I used that time to go up to my little garage and start doing a stock take because it wasn't freezing. So I thought it was a good time to start doing it. But yeah, it was lovely this morning. It's a bit more now.
It was a bright blue sky this morning. It's just a little bit sort of cloudy now, but it's still blue. But it was very cold, as it is up north. I had my big duvet jacket on when I walked Monty.
It's grim up north, so I've been told.
It's not grim, it's just cold.
I know. I've dug out my very big goth boots with the skulls on because I can wear those in the garage. They're about that thick at the bottom. Don't get cold feet. Lovely.
Yeah, I do. I've got some nice sheepskin lined boots that I wear that are waterproof, and they're good. Nice. So we've got Patricia in, and Daryl, and Laura. Hiya, Laura. And I think I saw Nia and Maria, and Nia Maria, and Mike.
Oh, yes.
So, hope everyone is well. So, as we know, what I wanted to talk about today is, obviously, you guys all know about all my plans that I have and my lists that I write, and a lot of it's gone to pot the last couple of months. I wouldn't say I've been depressed. I've just been, I can't think of the word, sort of lethargic. I think the word's lethargic. I just haven't felt like doing very much at all. And if I do something, like one thing a day, I feel like I've achieved something, because it's just, is it like wading through mud almost? I've just found it really hard with the days getting shorter and being colder and not much happening. And I've just found it really, really difficult. So I had all these plans to make Christmas bags and, all that kind of thing. And it's just all gone out the window. But that's fine. Fabric doesn't go out of date. It can be used next year, and I'll get ahead of myself next year and hopefully start making Christmas stuff in the summer, which is what a lot of people do. When when the days are nicer and, warmer. And I think I've realised as the years have gone on that this time of year is always difficult for me. And I'm starting to starting to say to myself, right, don't put stuff off till then, because you won't do it then.
Knowing yourself is quite important, isn't it? And I think a lot of people do struggle.
Yeah.
November into December, and sometimes again January, February, because it's dark and it's suddenly like someone's turned the lights down. Yeah. One of the good ways to get around it is think, well, A, it's Christmas really soon. It's about 4 weeks away. Mm-hmm. And 2, the darkest night is only about 3 weeks away. So it will get lighter after that. It will switch around. So we're nearly there when we start going around the other way. So, yeah.
Hi, Mandy. Mandy said deflated. Yes, that's the word, deflated, definitely.
Good word.
Yeah. And so I thought, right, what am I good at? I'm good at making lists.
You are. You're good at making lists.
So I thought, right, I want to try something. Now, if it goes well, it'll go on for a year, but I'm going to give it 6 months initially just to see how it goes. I've read a few things, and I've seen a few things on YouTube about people doing this. And it's basically, how we all, with technology and everything, we have a lot going on in our lives now compared with people 30 years ago. We have a lot more going on in our lives, even when we're at home. So I'm calling it the Simple Life Project. And it's basically trying to get rid of things in my life that I don't need and simplify, basically, and try and see if that simplifying my life makes me a happier person. I have a good feeling that it will, but it's going to take quite a bit of willpower from me, which is not my strong point. But I'm hoping if I do things sort of little by little, that hopefully it'll work. So
you need something that you actually can see tangible results for quite quickly.
Yes.
That's the thing, because otherwise what you'll get is that thing that, that's sort of what they call analysis paralysis, where you think about everything and then actually not do anything because it's all a bit too overwhelming and a bit too scary. And that's really common. Lots of people have that. You'd be amazed. The
Yeah.
procrastination kind of gene that I think we've all got to some degree, and it's working out how do you get around it? How do you trick it and trick yourself into thinking, yeah, but I'll just do something.
I think I'm a massive procrastinator. So I've learned through the years that if I feel like doing something, I need to do it now. Not think, right, I must do that, because then I won't. I need to do it now. So this morning I saw the sunlight. So I thought, right, Karen, you've got stuff there that needs photographing. Do an hour's photography. Sadly, the sunshine didn't last as long. So it was only half an hour, but it was half an hour more than what I could have done. So, you know.
Yeah.
So what I did was,
grab it.
so yes, that's it, exactly. And on Sunday, I was like, oh God, I don't want to put the decorations up in this living room. It's such a mess. So I thought, right, Karen, there's stuff sitting there that's been sat there for ages. So I said to Darren, I'm going to put some stuff on Facebook this morning and see what happens. Now I've learnt my lesson, and I won't do that again if I ever have a folding table. I had a folding trestle table, right? And I paid 30 quid for it. And I put it on Facebook for a tenner, and I got 25 people messaging me within 10 minutes. So I should have put it on for a higher price. But I stayed true to the price, and the first person that messaged me, and she came and got it, and she was really pleased. So I've helped someone out with a table for Christmas. I also sold a wine rack to a guy that he said he's collecting them. It's sort of a vintage one, and it was chrome and wood. And he said, oh, he looks everywhere for them. He's trying to build up a collection of them.
Wow.
So I was pleased to sell that. And what was the other thing? Oh, dog bed. I bought Monty a really nice dog bed with like a cover on it, because he always gets under the duvet. So me and Darren got this dog bed thinking, oh, he'll love that. Wouldn't go in it at all. Used to sit on top of it. So I sold that for 15 quid. So I was pleased with that. So I did something with my Sunday morning, which normally I don't do a lot on a Sunday morning, apart from watch Carla and Lex and sewing on shopping TV, sewing shows. So,
but you got to the key of it. You've seen what works, which is if you think of doing something and it's possible, just do it, or at least start it, or get it going. Rather than make a list of I'm going to do that, is to say, well, just do that.
Yeah.
And then that tends to mean that it frees something else up so that you can then do. The key is not to think about it. Just think, oh, I'll do it then.
Well, a couple of nights last week, I had some insomnia, and I couldn't get to sleep. I don't know what it was, because normally I'm just out like a light. I don't have any problem sleeping. I was laying there for hours. And I had all this stuff going around in my head, and I thought, right, if I just write it down, then I've got it written down and it won't keep going around in my head.
Good,
so
yes.
I thought, right, what makes me happy? Things that make me happy. So I've written sewing, cooking, baking, a clean, tidy home, organising, feel-good television, family and friends, and learning. So that's what I put for my things that I enjoy. And then things that I don't enjoy are news, especially politics, negative people I don't like in my life, bickering, because me and Darren have just been bickering so much, and it's because we're spending so much time together. Although he is doing, like this week, he's worked 7 days this week, so it's better this week than it is the week after when he's off. Overindulging. So I'm terrible, like with chocolate. I can't just have a little bit of chocolate. I have to eat the whole bar. And that's, I want to stop doing that, because that is not good. And it's not healthy either. Mess, clutter, high blood sugars. My blood sugars have been terrible lately, up and down like a yo-yo. And that's not good. And if I went to the hospital, they wouldn't be impressed, because they can do your blood and see what it's been like over the last 3 months. So, that's not a good thing. And also debt. So, I've put a list of things that make me happy and unhappy. And then I thought, well, there's things in your life which they don't make you happy or unhappy, but they're a necessary thing that have to be in your life, aren't they? So I've put social media, because I don't think I could just cold turkey social media. I do, I like it. I don't like it. I'm kind of in between. It's weird.
Yeah, but you don't have to go cold turkey on it. Just do a bit of it, or just do the stuff that you enjoy.
Yes, exactly. Also, reselling. It's not my first choice of how to earn money,
Right.
but especially at the moment, because I'm not doing the bit I enjoy, which is the sourcing bit. It's just a necessary thing that I have to do because there's not much else I can do.
Yeah.
Well, I can make stuff and sell it. Dieting. I really don't want to diet anymore. I start diets, I don't know how many times, and I'm just fed up of that word and how it makes you feel and the guilt that you
a
get.
word.
Yeah, yeah. And walking Monty on my own. I don't hate it, but I don't enjoy it. It's something I have to do. So those are the things in my life that I have to do, but they're not the greatest things in the world.
Mm.
So I thought I better do that because you can't love and hate everything, can you? There's always in between. So I thought I better do it in between.
Stuff you don't mind doing so much, but obviously it will depend on circumstances. For example, if you're walking Monty but you're in pain doing it because you've got back trouble, then obviously you're not going to enjoy it. That's not Monty's fault. That's because you're not feeling healthy in your body. So it's like, well, what can you do about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are things you can probably have more control over in what you eat, but there's also you started doing a little bit of yoga, didn't you, with Louise? Little things like that help enormously with back pain. So they can be little things you can do that may start to change how things feel a little bit.
I don't know what you mean, Daryl. There, Daryl said I was off book for 18 months. I don't regret it. You mean dieting?
I think he means Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Oh, sorry. Yes, Facebook. Yes. Yeah, I mean, if I think about it, all I really do on Facebook is I'll go on it in the morning and look at my memories. You know, you have memories of old posts and things. And then I'll just have a quick look at it and maybe wish someone a happy birthday because it's always somebody's birthday. But I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. I put posts on every so often because I've got relatives and friends that's how they know what's going on in my life, by looking at Facebook. So, you know, that's maybe my bad. Maybe I should ring them and have an actual conversation with them rather than putting it on Facebook. But Facebook's quite easy, isn't it? You can just put something. Although not a lot of people do that these days, unless it's something major.
Only big stuff and stuff that I want to reach a big enough audience. But certainly when a lot of my friends aren't on Facebook or aren't particularly bothered by it or are far too busy to be spending any time on it, I just tend to go on there. There are people that I like to see what they're doing in the world because they're trying to do new things and you know, but I can take it or leave it, really. It doesn't bother me too much either way.
You know, I've always really liked Instagram, but at the moment, I finding it really hard to look at people. Even, you know, I don't feel jealousy, but people who are reselling and doing really well, I find it really hard because I then it makes me think, oh, Karen, you're rubbish. Which, you know, I shouldn't do that because they've got different circumstances to what I have. But
and it is their thing. You've already said you don't think it's your thing, so why do you have to be that good at it? There isn't, you know, there's no judgment except coming from yourself. So it's kind of a case, well, you know, I've looked at someone's figures and go, oh my God, how are they earning that much? I thought, no, that's their turnover, not necessarily their profit.
Yeah.
And their life is different from mine. You know, if you can be happy with where you are and have an idea of where you want to go, that's simpler. Wouldn't you start worrying about everybody else? Oh man.
Exactly.
There's always going to be someone doing things better, bigger, faster, more money, more travel, more whatever it is. It's not good. That's the big problem I have with social media, is the discontent, the inherent discontent of feeling not good enough that it gives people.
Yeah. But with those people with the big sales numbers, you often see what stuff they've bought and the prices they pay, and it's much higher than I would ever pay for things. If I saw that particular thing at that price, I'm a cheapskate. I wouldn't buy it. I only buy things that, in my mind, are a bargain that I know I'm going to make quite a bit on. You know how you say like 10 times, 5 to 10 times. Yeah.
It doesn't work with the bigger figures though. And the thing is, when you are reselling at a certain level and you have some sort of capital, then you can afford to invest and have something sit for a while for potentially a big return. A lot of people starting out or with lower numbers of listings don't necessarily do it. I've got too much stuff listed, I know I have, but it sort of works for me, and I'm not actually that bothered whether someone thinks my business model is good or not. I'm happy. Money's coming in spite of. I'm thinking ahead now to January and February, because for me it usually slows down a bit then. And I'm trying to put things up that I hope people will self-gift or be thinking of the holidays that they're all longing for, because basically that's it. And I think that's going to really lift things a bit. So I'm always an optimist. I always assume it'll be all right.
Yeah.
It usually is.
I mean, I was talking to Louise last night before we did the meditation, and I can't believe it was a year ago that we met up and went for lunch and met up with Lainey. And I can't believe that was a year ago. It's just gone. Even though lockdowns felt like it's gone on forever, I can't believe that was a year ago that we did that. It doesn't seem like it.
Exactly. And so much has happened since then as well, particularly for Lainey. But, you know, they're getting out and about. And what I love about Lainey's post is she's been through so much. And, you know, we all send her the very best. But what I'm loving is the fact that she's getting out there and making contact with nature again. And that has healing powers. There's no two ways about it. Just being out in it can make your whole day different and better. You know, that's what nature's for. That's why it's there. And that's just brilliant to get out.
I mean, I lived above my parents' shop for years, and basically you walked to the end of the street and there was the beach.
Oh, wow.
And it was just so nice, you know. If you felt stressed out, if I felt stressed out, I'd just walk to the end of the road, go sit on a bench and just watch the sea.
Yeah.
And it just relieved the tension, you know. I probably could get, like, I have done that before when I can't sleep, is get the sound of the ocean.
I was going to say, nature sounds, those kinds of things can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Just to get you out of your head and into a better place. Yeah, hugely. My husband's the same. He was brought up near the sea, and very much, you know, that's his go-to place. Not necessarily for me. I'd rather be in woodlands or mountains, or I don't know, take myself off to all kinds of places in my head. Obviously, my broomstick is not that powerful just yet. But you know, the internal ability to travel is undiminished, beyond a doubt.
I've written a little plan of what I want to do. So the stuff that makes me unhappy, this is my little action plan of what to do about that. So I'm going to stop watching news and current affairs programs, because I spend far too much time doing it. And often it's just regurgitated information. There's hardly ever any new information. If there is, Darren will tell me, because he watches the news every morning before work. So if anything major will happen, he will tell me about it. I think for my own peace of mind and my own brain, I'm going to stop doing that. So I'm going to wean myself off. So I've started off, I'm not watching the news. I'm going to wean myself off this morning, Lorraine and Loose Women, because I've been doing that for so long. So, I think by January I'll have stopped watching them. I'll stop recording them and I'll stop watching.
Yeah, they're the same.
Lainey's saying there that it's mad that she can't believe it's a year ago. It just really doesn't feel like it. Hi, Lainey. Oh, hi, Jem as well.
Oh, yes, so everybody's in. Oh, Mandy's in. Hello. I'm not sure I talk well. I can talk a lot of the complete opposite of sense as well. It's quite easily done.
Heather's the perfect person to be on with me now, because she's very analytical and she's very good at sort of confirming what you feel. She's very good at that, Heather. But anyway, that's the first thing. Stop that. So I'm going to have a big Facebook and Instagram call, because I've realised there's loads of people on Facebook and Instagram that I don't even look at what they're putting on. So what's the point in me following them? There's no point really, is there? So I'm going to do that.
Exactly. The only people I follow on Instagram are sort of friends and virtual friends from here. Because it is interesting. You do get to see more of what they're up to. And I'm currently following some kind of home renovation because I'm looking for ideas for my hallway. So
Oh,
I just use it as like an inspiration pin board, and I go, oh, I like that. No, I don't like that.
do you know, I don't follow enough sort of, oh, she's disappeared. Come back, Heather. Her internet must have dropped off. I don't follow enough sort of creative people on Instagram, so I really need to start doing that. You're back.
I don't know what happened there. I just was suddenly had a blank screen. Terribly sorry.
Shut off, yeah. Yeah, I don't follow enough creative people on Instagram, so I need to do that. So if any of you guys can recommend anyone good for me on Instagram, send me a message and I'll have a look.
I think inspiration is the more positive aspect of it, is to kind of go, oh, that's nice, or that's interesting, or I like to look more at that. I get a lot of sort of pagan and that kind of information comes up, through social media. That's how I stay in touch with people I only see literally once in a blue moon. But yeah, in terms of, I keep well away. I do have a couple of relatives, they'll put out a lot of political stuff, and I just go, I can't do it. Just, no, it's not good for my health.
I mean, there's quite a few people that I'm only friends with them on Facebook because I was at school with them, and I don't agree with their political stance on things, and I often mute them. You know, when you can mute someone for 30 days, I find myself keep pressing that button every month because that's something they've pops up, and I'm like, oh, not them again.
Yeah, it's probably best just to walk away and go, it's okay, you live your life, you do you, as the great Carla Jenkins would say, and leave you in peace. Yeah.
I don't think we'd be trusted to have another school reunion, because the last one we had, which was 10-year, we had it at the school and the school got a bit trashed. So I don't think, not by me, I'd already gone home by then, but yeah, I don't think they'd let us have one again.
Yeah, I've never been to one of my school, and although my old school is literally up the road from where I live now, I've never been. No one's ever really suggested it. Oh, here's Lainey.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ability to lose yourself and sort of connect with things that takes you out of your day-to-day stuff is very therapeutic.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Aid. Right. So, the next one I've put is think before speaking and stop moaning at Darren, because I find myself doing it more and more.
Yeah.
And I actually apologised to him the other day because I realised that every time we spoke, it was me moaning at him. And he doesn't deserve that. He works really hard, and he doesn't ask for much at all from me, really. He'd be happy if I just bring him a cup of tea every now and then, and I've even stopped doing that, which is really bad. I need to do that more. So yeah, I need to think about what I'm saying to Darren, because just because I'm frustrated, I shouldn't take it out on him.
Yeah, you need to be able to download, but you can't really just dump it on one person. Lockdown has done that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it is difficult. But it is that thing of thinking, well, have I said something nice to this person today? Have I appreciated what they're doing and the fact that they're there?
Yeah, exactly. And I realised I haven't done that. I just take him for granted, which I shouldn't do, because at the end of the day, he really does support me, and I couldn't live the life that I live if it wasn't for him, because he basically financially, he supports me a whole lot. So
well, I'm sure you support each other in various ways, but the frustration can come out of feeling that you're not doing what you think you should be doing, and it's like no. No.
So my next thing is smaller portions and make treats last. So I have been trying to do that lately, because me and Darren often used to have the same size meal, and he's 6 foot and he's got a physical job and he's a man. He needs more calories than I do, but we'd have the same size meal, which is not good. So that's definitely something that I need to do. Instead of dieting, just smaller portions and make treats last. Just have a little bit of a treat rather than eating a whole bar of chocolate.
I would say if it's portion size, what happens is your stomach gets used to a certain amount of food being in it. Yeah. So if you suddenly cut down to a smaller quantity of food, you're going to really feel it. For some people, that approach will work because it will actually shrink the stomach, but it's not an easy process to go through. What might be better is to reduce it gradually, or try and make it more veggies and less of the spuds and the spuds.
That's what they said at the diabetic clinic. They said, like, put your potatoes on your plate and then just take one off each time, you know, until you're having less of the carbs, and try and put more vegetables on. So that's, you know.
Yeah.
And this is goals for the next 6 months, Kelly, basically.
Term ones, not all right now.
So the next one is test my blood sugar more and eat less carbs, because I'll test my blood when I get up in the morning, and I'll test my blood before I go to bed, but I often don't do it the other 2 times. I'll just inject how much I think I need for my lunch and how much for my tea, and I'm not doing it properly. That's not the way you're taught. That you're taught to weigh your carbohydrates, test your blood, and then have the amount of insulin that you need. But instead, I just guess it, which is not a good thing to do. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to get better at guessing because you've had this a long time and so on. But I think for you to monitor and actually make a note of it will help you to see what your patterns are and what things are giving you spikes, and obviously stuff like chocolate. And here we are coming into chocolate season.
I know.
But you know, I always say buy yourself really nice chocolate, because it's far more satisfying to have a mouthful of really nice quality chocolate than it is to have a whole bar of something rubbish. So you're kind of I'm saying this as someone whose hubby bought her a bar of chocolate on Sunday, and I haven't actually opened it yet, but it's so lovely that I'm kind of saving it a bit.
I'm laughing at Kelly. Look, Kelly knows me too well. No moaning for 6 months. I'm going to try, Kelly. I know it's difficult.
It's just small changes.
I like a goal for December is to stop giving out refunds.
Yeah, and accepting returns. Yeah. God, we've had some silly ones lately.
Hello, Nick. Nick's in.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Right, so these are all things that I can definitely do. And the next one is no spending unless needed, and make more items to sell. So I am one of those people who I'll go ages without spending any money, and then I'll have like a binge and spend loads of money. So I said to Darren, there's nothing we really need this year. I think I can go for 6 months at least without buying myself anything. I mean, obviously toiletries and things can go in with the general shopping.
Yeah.
But clothes, I don't need any clothes. I don't need anything, you know, for the house. I really think I can do 6 months without spending any money. I'm going to give it a good go.
And if you do treat yourself, make it something inexpensive, very, you know, small and inexpensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying this, I've just treated myself to some, haven't had a makeup overhaul in many years, don't tend to do a lot of makeup. Clearly, you're seeing the raw item here. But I treated myself to some stuff from a company called Trinny London, which is Trinny Woodall. And I bought them, and then I suddenly thought, actually, what I'd like to do is do a review it. So I haven't even opened it. I just looked at the bag and I'm like, right, I'm going to do that, because I am absolutely not the person who knows anything about makeup. So if this stuff can work for me, there's a fair chance that it might help somebody else. But it's fun. But I did that for me. It's kind of like my present to me, because I don't need stuff. But I thought, no, actually, I need to overhaul my makeup, get rid of stuff, and this system looks like it'll be good. Who knows?
I mean, we're talking about Christmas presents, and there's nothing I really want for Christmas, and there's nothing Darren wants. I've just bought him a few little things, you know, just for something to open, and I hope he does the same with me. I'll have to ask him if he's going to.
Yeah, make sure you're both on the same page with that one, because that could be really awkward otherwise.
Yeah. I did tell him last night. I said, "Oh, I did a order, and I got you a few bits." So, because he deals with the order, but I've ordered it to come in bags, which I don't usually do, because I thought, oh well, then it can be hidden in bags and you can't see. So, Lainey says she's going to go live tonight and talk about what she wants to do on her channel, and she feels like she needs to do things she enjoys, which is exactly how I've been feeling, definitely.
Yeah, because if you can't cut the stuff out that's annoying you, whether that's people, so-called obligations, you know, certain responsibilities and things you have to do when you're grown up, you have to adult sometimes, but there are things that you just think, I'm not into that anymore. I don't want to be dealing with it. And there's nothing that says you have to. That's the key. You're free. You're a free person.
And Mike says about the carb calorie apps. Yeah, I wear my Fitbit all the time, and I've got a really good app on that comes with that, where you can count your carbs, and I don't know whether to do that straight away, because I'm going to have to weigh my carbs anyway, because I have to weigh my carbs to do my injection instead of just guessing. I will see if that brings my blood sugar down. I think it will. So yeah, that's definitely something that I can do, and make more items to sell. I have got up there a massive bookshelf full of books making stuff, with fabric, and CD-ROMs making stuff. If I can't get some inspiration from there, and I've got so much fabric, I've got so much fabric, there's no excuse not to use what I've got to make some money.
And it's working out what people want now. Because what somebody might have wanted 10 years ago, that might have been the thing.
Yeah.
And you need to be doing something that not everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
That's the difficult bit, because you've got all these, as you found it with the face mask stuff, there's so many cheap imports coming from all over the world. It's impossible to compete with that unless you're offering something that's very bespoke or very different. But you've got that ability, you've got that stuff there.
Well, the console covers, I really think I should give that another bash, because they haven't been on for such a long time. And I did a look on eBay, and there's still just the Chinese, cheap elastic type ones. There's nothing really like what I make. There's one guy that makes them out of faux leather. But that's all I know of. So I really should give that a go. Just make a few and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because that is something that not many people do, and people do like them. People like me who like to keep dust off things. I mean, I know a lot of young lads aren't bothered about dust, but there are people, and there are women gamers as well, and men gamers that like to be clean and tidy, that like to have a dust cover on their console. So
there will be a market for it, because all sorts of people have consoles and other things too. They have those glorious sort of food mixer things that have to sit on the side. Well, why not cover it up in something lovely?
I need to do that with mine. I got one for my wedding anniversary, and I still haven't made a cover for it, so I need to do that.
Those are very good, because baking is not going away. That's a big thing. People have these big food processors, and a lot of people these days have got small kitchens, and therefore stuff has to sit out, whether it's their slow cooker or their air fryer or their whatever, and to have covers possibly for those, could be a thing too. I'm guessing.
Use tea towels. I don't even make them for myself. I use tea towels over my stuff, which
Make yours first. Give it a try.
So it is, isn't it? The older you get, the trickier Christmas presents get.
Well, you don't need so much. I mean, my husband and I we always kind of bought our own presents that the other one gave to us. I mean, for a long time we've done that, because it's hard to surprise somebody, and it's an expensive error if you get it wrong. But there's always the thing of, if we really want something at any time of year, we can probably have it. So it's the sort of Christmas thing. It's nice to have little things, and things that you've either made or thoughtfully put together, little things. But big stuff, no. If I really want something big, I'll buy it. So.
Oh, we've got I don't see you very often. Hi, Chris. Hope you're all right. And we've got Leanne and Karen. Hi, Karen.
Cookie and the Haydens. I'm sure I've heard of that before.
Yeah, Chris. Chris's name. Chris nice and Bell. I can't remember if it's his wife or not. Is it your wife, Chris Bell? Bargain Bell. So I think those are all positive, things that I can do about things that make me unhappy, basically. And then I've put stuff that I can do more of, that makes me happy, that I don't do enough of. So I've put make some new items, which I discussed before. Cook some new recipes. I've loads of people say to me that my cooking videos are really good, because I don't faff about. I basically tell you what the ingredients are, show you the different stages and what the end result looks like. And loads of people, even people that don't follow me like for reselling reasons, have said to me, I really like your cooking video, so I need to do some more of those. I know
like
there's millions of them out there.
I like them because they, you know, I do get the whole thinking thing of thinking what to cook and where and when, and trying to please other people and not just me. But it is nice to say, oh yeah, I could have a go with that one. No, that's great, and it's straightforward and simple.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like simple recipes that are easy to do but taste good. I've always been like that. I don't like anything too complicated because I just get bored. So
yeah, do some more of those because you make us all happy too.
Yes. So I will definitely do that. Do some more baking. I know baking's not good for you, but I can incorporate it as part of a treat and make smaller amounts. And Darren loves my baking. That makes him happy. So yes, I definitely want to do some more baking. A regular cleaning day with Darren, and Darren has actually agreed to this because we always used to do it and we've just kind of stopped. So one of the reasons I've been moaning is because he's stopped helping out with the cleaning as much, and it's like been left to me a lot, which I know he is working more, but he's agreed with me that he will help me do the housework, which is good.
Yeah, we do have to keep renegotiating and revisiting things. Just because something worked at one point in time, when you're with someone over a long period of time, things do change, and it's always up for negotiation. You know, if you can't talk to your life partner about these things, who can you? You know,
exactly.
It's doing it in a calm way so it doesn't end up as a row. That's the neat bit.
Yeah. And you know, that's what I've been doing. We've been discussing things more rather than bickering, because bickering doesn't get you anywhere, basically.
No.
Get paperwork and office organised. Now, you probably think, oh, Karen, you've probably already got your paperwork and office organised.
You can't see this, right?
My paperwork gets shoved in 2 bags for life. I've got 2 massive bags for life where I just shove everything. And I've been doing that for the last 4 years since I've lived here. Before, when we lived in our old place, I was very organised. Since we've moved here, it just gets moved around. It's now under the bed. There's a big bag full of paperwork under the bed. So I'm sure loads of it could just get chucked away.
That'll be fun to sort through one day when you're feeling bored. Well, it'll be satisfying because you can get rid of probably a good half of it. It's irrelevant.
Yeah. I did a little bit last summer, and Darren burnt loads of it on the barbecue, so that was good.
You know, I'm one of those people that I don't do my accounts every 5 minutes. I do literally save them up to around this time of year because I'm scheduled up to Christmas pretty much now. And then I quite like to just sit down with a big pile of it and just do it because I've got that deadline. It makes me do it. And I spend 2 or 3 days maybe doing it, and then that's it for another year. Great.
Oh, Queenie's just saying there that food shopping and thinking of stuff for tea sucks. Yes, it does. I always try and think about the meals that we're going to have through the week and if I need any ingredients for it. But if you guys would like to see me do a whole week of meals, I'd be happy to do that. You know, and the stuff that you need to buy. It'd be interesting actually to see how much that week of meals cost, because I would probably find that it doesn't cost that much because we don't really spend a lot on food if we're eating well. It's when we eat rubbish that's when we spend a lot of money on food. If you're just eating normal meals, like home cooked family meals, you don't spend a lot on food.
Cat bum.
Patricia says she likes my Yorkshire recipe. It works a treat. Yeah, it's a great recipe. I haven't used any other since I found that recipe because it just works every time. It's just like fail-safe.
That's it. You've always got things that, I mean, I'll always find new recipes and things, and then they become sort of family favourites. But my son is very picky. Husband not so much so, but it does make it tricky. But I do find that I do a shopping list and I do menu plan for the week ahead. So although the days may change from when I plan it because life happens, I know I'm going to use up what I've been buying. So
that's the first thing Darren asked me, you know, when he rings me, because he'll ring me when he's at work just to see how I am. And the first thing he says is, what are we having for tea?
Oh, God.
Because he wants to tell everyone and make them jealous because I'm well known for my cooking at his work because he often shows photographs of what I've cooked. So he'll go around telling everybody what he's having for tea because the food's terrible where he works.
Oh dear, no, I don't get that really. I just say to husband at some point in the evening, oh, we're having X tonight.
It sounds like it's me that does all the cooking, but he does cook as well. He does a really lovely steak and homemade chips. You know, and he has cooked other stuff as well. I taught him how to do, he made me mushroom risotto once when I was ill in bed. I just talked him through it and he made it. It was really nice. So he can do stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's just people don't tend to if someone else will do it for them.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I tend to do all the cooking here, but I've changed it there. I don't cook at weekends now. I just don't. And it was down to me to make that change and go, you know what? 5 days a week cooking is quite enough for me. Saturday can be a takeaway evening. And Sunday, you know, not my job. Especially when there were boot sales and things and I was really working hard on weekends. The last thing I want to do is trying to do menus as well. And there is no inherent reason why only I should be able to cook. So yeah, but that it's changed and it is better. I don't feel quite so sort of under pressure to create food all the time.
Yes, I could do that, Lainey, although I can't stand peas pudding and I don't know how you guys eat it.
What's panakelti?
Panhaggity. I think she's saying panhaggity. Which is, it's something with potatoes, I think. But have you do you know what peas pudding is?
I've seen tins of it. It's
like lentils.
Oh, nice.
Like boiled lentils. I think you traditionally have them with gammon, I think. Or ham. And the people have that in a stotty, which is the bread from here, stotty bread, which I do absolutely love stotty bread.
Let's not get into rolls and baps. Let's not.
No, stotty. We often have I can't think what they're called now. Stove something. They look like bread rolls, but they're called stove something as well. What they have here as well.
Nice.
Yeah, but I have got a cookbook with things from all around the country, traditional bakes from around the country. So I could have a go at making some of those and do a video about it. Definitely.
Panhaggity. Sorry, hashtag Carb. Yes, thank you.
It's a roll. It's a roll. It's getting so dark here. I can't read. Read at least one self-help book per month and one fictional book, because I do read all the time.
Yeah.
So instead of just reading, stuff, novels, I think I should try and learn something and read some self-help books, I think.
There's some quite good ones out there on what they call mindfulness, which is really just a meditative state, but it has very short, brief, easy to follow exercises in it, and sometimes they'll come with a CD, with that on. And lots of people for whom, brain churning around is a problem tend to find that can really help.
Yeah. So that's definitely something I want to do. So Darren's gonna start we're gonna start watching more things together that we both want to watch, rather than I'm in one room, he's in another, and then we don't see each other until like an hour before bed. Yeah,
you don't get much chance to connect, really, do you?
No, so more spending the evening together. And we've just started watching This Is Us, which is brilliant. If any of you haven't seen it, it's a really good series. And we've started watching that, and it is really, really good. It's about a family and triplets.
Blimey.
Yeah. But the triplets they keep going backwards and forwards. So they go back in time when they were kids, and then forwards in time when they're adults. And it's really, really good. We've been really enjoying that.
I've been mostly enjoying The Crown, but I'm still only on series 1. But yeah.
I'm finding it really hard. I find myself my mind wandering, so I just watch sort of 20 minutes at a time and then go back to it every so often, because I do really want to see the 4th series with Charles and Diana.
I'm watching this first series and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what did Queenie make of all this? Not Queenie Conquest, I mean Queenie Liz. Mother of Norman. We must stop, or at least we stopped talking about food. But it's things that yeah, people have known, but you just think, yeah, but you're really bringing it out in the open. And although we know it's fiction to some degree, there's a certain amount of fact in there, but you think to still be alive and see your life. They obviously don't watch it, I'm imagining. But I can see why Charles probably wouldn't be happy either, because it's not dressing it up any. And my only thoughts about being towards the end of the first series is, you know, all the money in the world is not worth it for the loss of freedom. They're all tragic. You wouldn't wish that life on anybody. I wouldn't. I think it's horrible. And it still is. I still think it is. So,
the really happy people are the rich people that aren't famous.
Yeah, because
they've got the anonymity and they can just walk around and do whatever. But if you're rich and famous, it's a blessing as well as a curse.
Oh, and it's probably more of a curse than a blessing, because although you've got money, you haven't got the freedom to do what you want with it.
Oh, see, look, they're still agreed. This is us. I had to comment. It's brilliant. I sob my heart out every episode. I tell people it's like a 21st century Waltons. It is.
I loved the Waltons when I was a kid. I loved it.
It's just so well written, and I really didn't think it was going to be Darren's cup of tea, but he's actually the one that wants to watch it every evening because he's really enjoying it. So, you know, because it's just really, it's sad and it's funny and it's, you know, it's a mixture of everything. It's just really good.
I'll have to look it up. Is it Netflix or is it BBC? Or
it's on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon.
Oh, I don't think I've got Amazon. That's probably why I haven't seen it.
It's NBC. It's on NBC in America.
Yeah. That will turn up somewhere eventually, I'm sure. I'm always late to the party with these things, with these series.
Oh, it's like, I think it's on series 5 or 6, but I've been wanting to watch it for years because my friends have raved about it.
Yes, you know, I'm watching MasterChef. I didn't watch the Bake Off thing at all. I can't be doing with that. But the MasterChef professionals, I love that because I love seeing people who are good at what they do, who love what they're doing it. I don't want to do it. It makes me appreciate just how much goes into some of the food I would dearly love to get my chops around.
FaceTime with friends and family more because I don't do that enough. So me and my group of friends, when we had my birthday party, we said we must do this at least once a month where we get together and have a chat. Not really talk about anything, just just have a catch up and a laugh. So I really want to do that. And yeah, I'm going to try and video chat with my parents every week instead of just phone call. And it was quite funny. Last week it was quite funny. And my dad just on a whim was like, should we ring Karin? And Mum was like, Karin needs warning. She doesn't like to be just rung out of the blue because she likes to make herself look presentable. And Dad was like, no, we'll just ring her. I was still in bed. I was having a lazy morning. I look rough as anything. And Mum was like, you look fine. I was like, no, I don't, Mum. I look really rough. So I had to put a filter on myself to make myself look better. And then I was making my mum laugh at all the different filters. You know, you can become a unicorn and all stuff. So, wow. And then I taught her how to do it. So she was putting filters on herself, which was really funny.
Ooh. Wow, that's a whole new world for me.
What are you booked on, Lainey? Oh right, apparently it's on Channel 4. This Is Us.
Is it?
That's what George said.
Okay. I think he's saying it's okay. If it's on Channel 4, I'll try and find it.
Oh, Lainey's on season 2 of The Crown. That's what she was saying.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and then when I've done my sewing diploma, which I know is I've been doing for 2 years, so I need to crack on with that.
No.
I finished my last module, so I need to do another module. I want to try something new, doing another online course, and maybe not creative, maybe something else, maybe something outside the box, maybe something I've never tried before. Just to see.
Yeah, trying to find something else that will spark your imagination or use a different part of the brain.
Yeah.
Something you might find interesting. Yeah. That's the problem. I look at all these sort of online courses and I think I could do all of them. It's like, but I haven't got enough time in my life to do all of them.
Yeah. Well, the Centre for Excellence, I don't know if they've still got the offer on, but they were doing all their courses for £29, and some of them are in the hundreds.
What kind of courses are they then?
All different ones, all different, loads of different subjects. I mean, obviously I'm doing the sewing diploma.
Yeah.
I've seen all sorts of ones, like dog behavior and, dog psychology and things like that. And I was like, oh,
well, that would be interesting.
yeah, because I really like to learn more about Monty, definitely, and his psychology. So yes, I will. I'll keep going, and I'll get that diploma. I will. Let's put it out there and say I'm going to get it done in 2021. Get that diploma done.
Have you got much more to do? Are you near the end of it now?
I've got 10 more modules to do, and I think 4 or 5 of them are practical. So I've got to make things.
Okay.
So yeah, but I can do a module in a day.
Oh,
depending on how big it is. If it's a smaller module, I can do it in a day.
Yeah. Can you do them in any order, or do you have to do it in a certain? Or can you get the easy ones out the way and then?
I was thinking that you can select which one, so I'm assuming you can go backwards and forwards between them.
Might be worth doing if you don't have to do them chronologically. There's no need to. It's sort of to crack with the easier ones, so that you can then say, well, I've only got 5 to do, knowing that they're the practical ones, and you can think, right, what's the easiest one to do first?
Yeah. Because the next one on the list is to do with sewing patterns, and I've just been avoiding that because I'm not very good with dressmaking patterns. I'm just not good at dressmaking. So I've been sort of thinking, I don't want to do that. So if I could go to another one and then go back to that, I should.
Yeah, if you make that the big one, I think, okay, it's going to be a bit of a pain, but you may find that when you can get over that, and that you actually do then start to enjoy to make clothes or to make something that you love.
I mean, I must have absorbed some things, because I do watch the Sewing Bee, which is all dressmaking, and I do watch dressmaking shows on the shopping channels, and they tell you stuff. So I must have absorbed some knowledge from that. I just never had to go with it myself.
To actually have a go and think, if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. It's the price of a pattern or a bit of fabric, which you have a lot of.
A lot of fabric.
Yeah. So treat it as an experience.
How bright it is there for you, Heather. We're in the country. Look how dark it is here.
I know, someone's turned your lights out. Well, all the clouds gone, actually. It's very clear.
Where's my I'm trying to find my light switch. Put my lamp on. There it is. That might help a bit.
You see your tiny Christmas tree, though. It's a very tiny Christmas tree.
My little Christmas tree, my pop-up one. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, so next, the last bit is the things that I have to do, but what can I make better? So only check social media once a day. Instead of, I go on it sporadically through the day, just check it once a day. I'm sure I can do that. When I can get out and start sourcing again, only buy quality. So I'm going to stop just, when you pick things up and you think, I know I can make money on that, so I'll buy it. I want to stop doing that. I just want to buy quality rather than quantity.
Buy what you love. Buy what you think is worth your time and energy, because photographing and listing is a pain for most of us. It's not our deepest pleasure. Just buy what you really like. And of course, because the charity shops, even down here, and I have the lucky privilege of being in tier 3. Don't even go there. But nothing really changes for me, bar the fact the charity shops are reopening, and my favourite ones apparently are also going to be reopening. But I also don't need a massive amount of stock, so I'm going to be quite picky. But there will be so much by Friday or whenever I get myself up there. But I am saying now, I really only want to buy things I love. The money, it's okay. Things are happening. I've got enough back stock, but I want to buy things that I can get really enthusiastic about.
Yeah, that is exactly what because I do love sourcing. I really enjoy it. But I'll often, especially when I go to my parents, because I know I've got someone to help me carry the stuff, and my dad helps me with it all and everything, I'll just buy as much as I can. I need to stop that and just buy quality, buy stuff that's worth buying, worth my time, as you said.
Yeah. And also that, it's how much money you're going to make out of it for how much time you've got to put into it.
Yeah.
Most of my stuff is listed. Well, I say it's listed, it's drafted. But because I tend to have some of my drafts there for quite a while, I find that eBay keeps losing the pictures, which is very annoying. But luckily, I've still got the pictures. I can go back and drop them in again.
Yeah.
But it's been really odd lately, and it's been very annoying. So I've certainly found that has taken up time that I didn't, I could have used in another way. But stock taking is on my list, and when you see sort of great big lists like this. Oh, that's just one page of 3, and that's the ladies' jackets.
Wow.
So I have got a lot of items, but I do want to stock take now, because then it's going to make it easier to decide what to put sales on and what to not buy. I've got a lot of dresses and a lot of jackets because a lot of people didn't buy them this year because shit happened.
Do you know how to get around the sales reports? I tried to download one of my reports, and it wouldn't do it because I don't have Excel. I have I'm trying to look OpenOffice. Have you heard of OpenOffice? It has a sort of similar spreadsheet thing on there, but it just doesn't recognize it.
Yeah, so, I don't really know, because I always make sure I have Microsoft Office on any computer, because I use Excel. I use Excel to download my item lists and make them into a form I can take with me. So yeah,
on my old computer. But, when I bought this PC, it didn't have Office on it. So someone told me about OpenOffice, which is good. It's just as good as Office, and it's free. You download it online and it's free. But
yeah,
I've been able to get my sales reports. That's the problem.
I think you can download things in as a PDF as well as an Excel.
Right.
I'm thinking you might be able to, but I honestly don't know. It's not my area. I can't be of much help, but there must be a way. And I know they think about 18 months, don't they?
Yeah.
But you do want to download them or save them somewhere on your computer, even if you can't actually open them for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, some people on here mentioned walk-in workouts. So I had a look at that on YouTube, and I found someone who's really good, who I'm really enjoying. So I'm going to do walk-in workouts at least 2 to 3 times a week, I'd say. And
Okay.
I'm just going to look up their name, because I've got him on my library.
Now someone has actually just said, Leanne Hill has said, you can download it as a .csv file, and OpenOffice should be able to read that.
Right, thank
you.
you.
If you make a note of that, because I have had the option to open things as a PDF or as a .csv file, and then I've saved them as Excel, but you don't have to.
I'll write it in the chat, the name of the guy that I've been watching, if anyone's interested. He does really good, easy to follow walk-in workouts, which obviously, as you know, I can't do much because of my joints and everything, and I'm finding it really good. He's called Rick Buller Fitness, and he does just a walk-in, so it's all to do with steps, and it's to really good funky music as well. Really good. Not funky. Funky's not the word. What's the word?
Nice and
high
upbeat.
tempo, good feel good music, basically. Yeah, he does that. So I've been really enjoying. I've done about 3 of them so far. So, and he's got loads on it on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to carry on doing that.
Well, that's good, because anything that gets you moving is going to help lubricate the joints and is going to help strengthen the muscles and around them. Yeah. So movement is important. But I still do my yoga. I always used to call it my old age insurance, and now that I'm getting to be old, it's proving to be true.
The problem I'm having with yoga, and I do feel bad because I'm so rubbish at it. I mean, I haven't been the last few weeks. I've just been doing the meditation. Is because the next day I'm in a lot of pain because I have a lot of inflammation in my joints and my muscles, and I'm trying to get my leg in places where my leg doesn't want to go. And the next day,
got to be very careful.
Yeah, the next day I've pulled something or I'm in pain. Now that's not Louise's fault. Louise says, don't push it. Here's a simpler version, all that. It's just the fact that I'm just so unfit that I'm finding it really hard to do. So Kelly jogs on her trampoline. Yeah, I used to have one of those.
I like Stall's comment. I didn't know Angela Lansbury did. That's my kind of workout. Yeah. Sit in the bath for 20 minutes. Yeah, that'll be me. Done.
Well, I've got oh, what's her name? Rosemary Conley, because she does quite ones that are quite gentle.
Mm.
I used to do Davina McCall. I wouldn't even attempt it now because, you know, she does a proper intense workout. So hopefully we're doing that. Then I can go on more walks with Darren and Monty, because at the moment I can't go on the walks that Darren does with Monty because I just can't keep up, and I just end up moaning because he's going off ahead and I'm in pain.
It might be worth looking up chair yoga. I'm not sure if it's called chair yoga, but you know, because you can do yoga seated. You can do it in lots of ways that are not going to aggravate your joint issues, that may help increase mobility.
Yeah, I did look up one that was I think it said it was an American woman. It said senior citizens yoga, and that was even quite challenging for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Karin, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, but I mean, it's meant for people of an age, but who probably don't have any significant joint problems. So, yeah, but there'll be something out there for you.
So I'm hoping the walking workouts will help me get used to doing more steps, and then, you know, I can build it up and hopefully walk further. So I think that's enough to be going on with, isn't it, with my action plan? I think I've got quite a lot of
good. But just bear in mind that your action plan needs to be reasonably flexible, that there may be things that, you know, but it's nice to have a general overall plan. I mean, I always say I never write. I have very few targets, very few goals, but my general direction is one of improvement. And that's, so long as I feel I'm moving in that way, I don't mind exactly how I get there. You know? Yeah. And I probably work harder now than I ever have done. But I'm trying to be more efficient, because I find I will spend too long working if I'm at home. You know, I just keep going, whereas it's like, no, I have to stop now because I've got tea to cook, and I really I try not to work in the evenings for the very reason of actually spending some time with my family.
Kelly's got a suggestion.
Yes, I like that.
And then she said, strap yourself to Monty's harness.
Oh dear. Oh man.
I was talking to a neighbour once, and Monty, I don't know what he saw. I think he saw a cat and he shot off, and my arm just went like that. And I just, you know, have you seen that clip of the lady that goes sideways when the dog pulls her? It was almost like that.
One of those. Well, he's pretty strong, isn't he?
He's a strong little boy. For such a small dog, he's very strong. He's all muscle. So.
I've heard about turmeric, actually. Stalls just said he's advised to take turmeric for inflammation. I'd say just eat a really good curry with lots of turmeric in.
So I thought I'd put my t-shirt on that's quite apt for today's tea break. Because I do overthink things. But I feel really positive about it, and I feel happy that I've written it down and that it's out of my brain and it's on paper and I've got it to refer to. And I do feel like, you know, it's going to be a good thing. I really do.
Yeah, it's something to work towards, isn't it? It's gives you a bit of an idea, and when you're feeling a bit like, you think, yeah, but I've got these things, I'm heading towards them, I'm going in the right direction. Yeah.
I will give it 6 months and see how we go, and then review it after 6 months. But I thought, right, I'll start in December, because then if I do a year, it'll kind of end at the end of November next year, and then I can have a really good Christmas next year. So
yeah, spoil yourself. Yeah, and that's the thing, is with all of these things, you should be able to chop and change and review as you go along, because life gets in the way, stuff happens, and you know, it's not always that predictable. But hopefully, you know, come the summer, everything will be a bit better than it is now.
Well, next December it's my mum and dad's 50th wedding anniversary, and
Good
they're
Lord.
hoping to have a big party, and I want to look good at that party. So that's my goal, is to look good for that party. So,
and to feel good. That's probably most important, is to feel good.
Yeah.
The rest is smoke and mirrors, darling. It's just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. If you feel good, you look good, don't you?
Yeah, it's like, not caring so much will probably be the best thing of all.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you, Heather. I think you've been the perfect person to discuss my action plan.
Well, it sounds like, you know, you've got a real broad range of things that you're aiming towards, and they're sensible and they're obtainable, and you've not sort of gone for something pie in the sky and unrealistic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't do this wrong. As long as you can't beat yourself up over this one.
No.
It's just a gradual process and a sort of a steering of your life in the direction you want it to go in.
Because
So
it's not
that.
like sort of focused goals, is it? And like,
No,
you
it's
must
better.
do this by this, because I've tried that before and it never works well.
It doesn't work, and people end up feeling disappointed and cross with themselves and you know, much worse than they begin. But it's a general direction that you're actually in the driving seat of your life. So it's up to you where it goes. No one else is driving your life. So yeah, it's good to take some conscious part in it. Otherwise, life just happens to you rather than you happening to life.
Exactly. Oh well, I hope everyone enjoyed me discussing me. So, you know what I mean. I hope you know, it gave you guys some inspiration of maybe things you might want to change and things that might make you happier and look at your life in a different way. I think this time we've had has really made me look at my life more, and you know, what is the point in living your life doing things you don't enjoy? There's no point in that.
Yeah, or waiting for the right time, thinking, oh well, maybe not now, maybe in a few years. You know, I've got it in my head and my heart now. I want a camper van. I want to go on road trips and go and see friends and explore. And I want to be able to do that on my own or with my partner or whatever. I just want the freedom. So it will happen. Exactly when, I don't know, but it will happen. It's a when, not an if.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what lockdown's done for me. It's made me want to have a camper van.
I've got a VW camper van sitting out. It's not mine, just outside my back fence there, which the guy who bought it has been working on it for 4 years now.
That's why I don't want a VW camper van. I want a more modern one that I don't have to be a mechanical expert in. I've been recommended something called the Mazda Bongo. Now, there's a name that apparently does the same job and is much easier to look after, and you can park it as well, which is quite important. So there we go. That's my goal for this coming year is to get that sorted. And what it will mean is I'll actually have to get rid of my nice big comfy estate car in order to have this, because we're only ever going to have one car in my family. But that this will still operate as a family car. It will still work.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun.
Thanks so much, Heather, for joining me, and thanks everyone for chatting along with us.